What started as a simple hike in the forest quickly turned into a strange mystery with severe consequences for this local woman. And it all started when she found this scared, odd-looking creature nestled underneath some wild bushes. It looked nothing like she had ever seen before. She took it home to nurture it. But then an expert looked at it and told her this.
But before we start, smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our upcoming stories.
Lily never planned to go hiking that morning. Black clouds hung in the air and rain was forecast. But for some strange reason, Lily felt pulled toward the forest. And it was a good thing she did, because what she found there was bizarre, to say the least. It started with a high-pitched whining noise about 30 minutes into her hike. Lily moved carefully toward the noise, brushing aside a low-hanging branch. And there, curled beneath a fallen log, was a small animal she couldn't quite place. Its fur was light brown and messy, and it shivered like it had been out there for hours. It looked at her with wide, dark eyes, curious but frightened. Its little body trembled from the cold. Lily dropped to her knees but kept a bit of distance. She didn't want to scare it more than it already was. The animal's sides rose and fell quickly, indicating that besides cold, it was also hungry. Lily's heart pulled on her, saying that she should take and nourish this helpless creature. Wild animals had families. Was its mother nearby, maybe watching? She looked around, standing slowly to scan the trees and shrubs. She walked in a wide circle around the area, checking for any sign of other animals, prints, nests, fur. But nothing stood out. It was truly alone. At least, so it seemed. Lily returned to the log, crouching lower this time. The little creature hadn't moved much. It tried to shift when it saw her, but gave up halfway. "You poor thing," she whispered. Her fingers hovered near it, checking how far she could go. The moment she reached forward, a strange chill ran down her spine. Lily paused and looked up. The forest felt off, like it was watching her. After a short break, Lily shook her head, thinking it was just nerves. She was now sure that the animal was alone and it needed help, so she carefully removed her scarf and scooped the creature into it. It didn't fight her, just let out a tiny sigh and curled into the warm fabric. Holding it gently, she stood again, the scarf forming a makeshift sling against her chest. But as she stepped back onto the trail, the hairs on her arms stood up. There it was again. It felt like something, or someone, was watching her from the shadows, just out of sight. Lily walked faster, keeping her eyes on the path. By the time she reached the edge of the woods, Lily's legs were sore from rushing. Her little red car sat alone in the dirt lot, surrounded by tall trees. As Lily approached, she loosened the scarf to peek inside. The animal blinked sleepily, its body starting to relax. A small smile crept onto her face. At the car, she gently placed the bundle on a folded hoodie in the back seat. As she stood and stretched, that heavy sense of being watched returned, stronger this time. Turning slowly, she scanned the lot and nearby trees. A man stood among them, unmoving, partially hidden. His dark jacket and the strap across his chest gave him a purposeful look. He didn't speak, just watched her with an intensity that made her stomach twist. Lily didn't wait. She fumbled for the door, slid into the driver's seat, and locked it. The man remained in place, head tilted, like he was sizing her up. The engine roared to life, and she backed out quickly. As she drove, the man disappeared from view, vanishing into the trees. The animal stirred but stayed quiet, as if sensing her urgency. At home, she laid it near the heater on a towel. It barely moved. She brought food and water. It didn't eat, but watched her closely. Eventually, the creature crept forward and took a small bite. Relief washed over her. It ate slowly and carefully, as if unfamiliar with real food. It wasn't just lost, it had clearly been through something. Later that night, after it had eaten more and curled up asleep, Lily searched online for animals native to the woods nearby. Nothing matched, not the fur, not the drooping ears. She leaned back, puzzled. By morning, the animal had moved closer to the heater, resting more comfortably. It still avoided her touch, but seemed less afraid. She watched it quietly, a small smile forming. It needed a name. Milo felt right, and just like that, the little mystery had a home. The days that followed were quiet, but not normal. Milo stayed close to the fireplace and only moved when Lily wasn't watching. He'd wait for her to turn her back before shifting positions or exploring. She tried to take photos, but they always came out blurry. The weirdest part, Milo didn't make a single sound, not even a squeak. And then, on the third day, while taking out the trash, Lily noticed something strange. A black Jeep Wrangler sat parked at the end of her room. Its plates were blackened and the windows were tinted, but there was definitely someone inside. Lily paused, frowning. Her neighborhood wasn't exactly busy. She knew every regular car, but she'd never seen this one before. Lily stood for a moment longer, pretending to fiddle with her phone. The Jeep didn't move, the driver didn't get out, just sat there. Lily turned and went back inside, pulling the curtain closed behind her. Maybe it was just nervous speculation, but Lily somehow felt that this car was related to that man in the woods. That night, around 2 in the morning, Lily woke up to a strange glow spilling across her bedroom ceiling. She got out of bed and peeked through the curtain. And after adjusting to the brightness, Lily saw the Jeep again, illuminating her house from across the street. Bright beams lit up her driveway, her porch, and part of the living room. She watched for what felt like forever, but still no one got out. Eventually, the headlights flicked off, and the Jeep rolled slowly down the road, disappearing into the dark. Lily stayed frozen, listening to the quiet. When she finally climbed back into bed, her heart wouldn't settle. Someone was watching her, and they weren't being subtle about it anymore. When morning came around, Lily tiptoed downstairs to check on Milo, expecting him to be curled up where she left him. But the towel was empty. Her eyes darted around, then widened. The dog crate she'd borrowed from her neighbor was knocked over, its metal door unlocked. Cereal boxes littered the kitchen floor, and something had torn through her pantry like a storm. She found Milo on the kitchen counter, halfway inside a cereal box, muzzle dusted with crumbs. He looked up, startled but not guilty, caught in the act, yet unbothered. The dog crate had clearly failed to contain him. Even in his weakened state, he was far more clever than he appeared. As Lily approached, Milo surprisingly mirrored her movement, showing a sudden shift in trust. She kept calm and steady, and after a pause, he leapt into her arms finally, fully trusting her. Maybe the abundance of food here made him gain confidence and trust in her. Whatever it was a welcome surprise. Still, Lily wanted to know what she was dealing with. But now it was time to truly figure out what Lily wondered who Milo was, and why he'd been shivering alone in the woods. The thought of the man who had followed her home crossed her mind as she reached for her phone. She searched online and called the local veterinarian. When asked about the animal, she hesitated, unsure. They scheduled a visit for that afternoon. As she ended the call, Milo peeked out from under the table, watching her. Lily wrapped Milo in her scarf before heading out. His little body clung tightly to her as if he already knew the world outside was dangerous. Lily opened the front door and scanned the street. The Jeep wasn't there. Lily let out a breath of relief, but that comforting feeling was short-lived, because the moment she started her car, it appeared around the corner. The black Jeep turned onto her street just as she backed her car out of the driveway. Her hands gripped the wheel tightly. She tried not to look in the mirror too much, but it was hard not to. The Jeep kept its distance, but it followed persistently. Every turn she made, every light she passed, it was still there, creeping up on her. Lily took the highway instead of the back roads, hoping the open stretch would help her feel less trapped. But the Jeep stayed behind her the whole time, always a few cars back. Its driver wasn't fooled easily, and he was clearly following her. But why? Her heart raced, and Milo pressed himself deeper into her scarf. He could feel it, too. The moment she reached the city center, Lily made a sharp turn into a crowded parking lot beside a bookstore and waited. The Jeep drove past. Did it not see her sharp turn into the secluded parking lot? Lily waited a bit longer, but it didn't drive by again. Her legs trembled as she stepped out of the car, cradling Milo close. The vet's office sat tucked between a laundromat and a bakery. She hurried inside, the smell of antiseptic and pet shampoo filling her nose. The receptionist gave a polite smile and pointed her to the waiting room. Lily kept glancing at the glass door, but the Jeep never returned. When the vet called her name, she entered the exam room with slow steps. Milo still wouldn't let go. The vet, a tall man with silver hair and kind eyes, gently tried to pry him from the scarf. Lily hesitated before they managed to get Milo onto the exam table. He crouched low, tail wrapped tightly, eyes scanning the room. The vet moved slowly, examining Milo's paws, spine, and oddly rounded ear. He suddenly froze, something in his expression shifting. Recognition, maybe. He leaned closer, gently pressing near the base of Milo's ears, then stood abruptly and crossed the room with a new urgency. He retrieved a pair of glasses, opened his computer, and began typing. Headlines filled the screen: confiscated, endangered, missing specimens. His focus deepened as he clicked through articles, pausing on grainy images and a map. Lily, heart pounding, watched silently. One photo showed a creature resembling Milo, similar, but not quite the same. The vet looked up, pale but composed. Milo remained still on the table, unblinking, as though he understood. The vet examined the photo on his screen, his expression darkening. The animal wasn't just rare, it was a fennec fox, native to northern Africa, but with unusual features. Its ears weren't pointy, its appearance subtly different, a subspecies extremely rare and largely unknown to science, which made it valuable. Lily stared at the image, then at Milo, who watched her silently. The vet's expression grew more serious. There was a black market for creatures like this. Traffickers sought out endangered or genetically unique animals, selling them to private collectors. Milo had likely been smuggled and escaped either during transport or from a breeder. Lily's thoughts raced. The man in the woods, the jeep following her, it all connected. She described the strange encounter to the vet, who confirmed her fears. Someone had lost something valuable, and they wouldn't stop searching. The realization settled heavy in her chest. That man had been watching her the day she found Milo, never speaking, just observing. He was likely the trafficker, tracking Milo ever since his escape. Within the hour, 2 officers arrived. Lily explained everything: the forest, the man, the jeep, the lights near her house. One took notes, the other examined Milo closely. The officers took Lily's story seriously. If confirmed, it could lead to the arrest of a long-sought trafficker. They quickly devised a plan. Lily's car was fitted with a tracker and mic, and she was asked to drive a specific route past surveillance points. She agreed without hesitation. Soon after turning onto Meadow Hill Road, the black jeep appeared, following at a steady distance. Lily kept her voice steady as the officers monitored her progress. At the final intersection before town, cruisers blocked the road from all sides. The jeep braked too late. Officers surrounded the vehicle and pulled the man out. The trafficker was arrested and later sentenced for illegal wildlife trade. He had smuggled dozens of rare animals using remote routes. Milo had escaped during one transfer, likely the only one who ever had. Too used to humans to return to the wild, Milo was placed in a sanctuary. Months later, Lily visited him there. The peaceful setting was filled with birdsong and blooming flowers. Milo, healthier and stronger, spotted her and ran to the fence, tail flicking. She knelt beside the enclosure, her heart full. He had made it, and so had she.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another unbelievable tale like this one.